Hey everyone, this is DCL Anorak. You guys might know me from Discord as Anorak or In World, even possibly the DCL Core Roundtable events that we do on YouTube every Saturday. So what I decided to start doing here is making videos just by myself throughout the week, and I want to cover different issues that I see brought up in the Discord, and potentially even cover some different NFT projects moving forward. But the main goal of this is just to keep it nice and light. I don't want to go over 15 or 20 minutes on anything. I just want to bring you guys a fresh bit of content, something that's a little bit easier to consume than a 2 to 3 hour long podcast, and something that's a little bit more entertaining than reading through a 3 paragraph essay on Discord, because I know it's a little difficult to explain yourselves when it's only through text. So what I wanted to cover right now is the value of your wearables and your land as Ethereum and Bitcoin go up in price. So what I've noticed over time since I've been involved in this project since 2017, around the first land sale, is that when Ethereum and Bitcoin go up in price, the mana value of your assets go down in price. However, they typically hold the dollar value. You might get a lower return on sats, but it'll still hold that same dollar value from when you maybe bought it. And what my suggestion is to people during this is to just keep strong hands. You don't want to be flipping back and forth between NFTs and crypto currencies like Mana, or trying to move into Bitcoin or Ethereum, especially if you're long on Decentraland. What's the point of trying to move into something momentarily if you're planning just to get back in? I know a lot of people think to themselves, well, buy low, sell high. But in reality, if you're moving against the market and you're waiting for stuff to move before you decide to sell that stuff, you're probably behind the curve already. So it's best to just sit still and look for newer buying opportunities when stuff is low. So we're going to look at the land market here really quick. And it's really easy to start panicking with land sales, right? Because if someone sells a parcel of land at 25,000 mana and it's a roadside parcel, you might get a little bit panicked. So if you're sitting on a parcel yourself that's, maybe a little bit out in the middle of nowhere, and you see a parcel that's on the road sells for 25k mana, well, it's easy to panic and think, well, then maybe I should sell my parcel at 12 or 13,000 mana. And when you start seeing these sales pop up as a landholder, it's really easy to get a little nervous, right? To get light hands, especially since the team implemented the bidding system, where you can click on a land and you can make a bid, as opposed to just buying outright. See, perfect example. There's a 10,000 mana bid on this parcel. So, since the bidding system was implemented, it's a lot easier to get light hands, right? Because you're sitting there every day, you're seeing parcels sell for 12, 13. This parcel, it's not a terrible area, but it's not the best. When you look at other parcels, like here, these roadside parcels were selling for 25,000 mana about a week or two ago. So when you look over here, and you're sitting on this parcel, and you have this bid, and you're watching the price of Bitcoin go up by $300 every 15 minutes, it's pretty tough to keep steady hands, and understandably so. However, if you're someone who plans to sell this only to get back into the market, you're probably going to lose. You might get lucky 2 or 3 times, but odds are 7 to 8 times out of 10, you're going to be behind the curve and you're going to miss out on potential gains. So now we can look at the wearables market. And that bidding system didn't used to be there either. I believe it was put in the summer of 2019. So before, you had to just outright buy a parcel, or people would get into the Discord chats and stuff and try and communicate with each other. It was a real pain to buy stuff. So now we're going to look at wearables, and it's a little bit of the same. So we're going to look at mythics, right? Because mythics hold the greatest value right now, unless you're someone who's really into the Bitcoin glasses that have been going off. So these mythics here have been dropping in price. All these astronaut stuff, they're going to start dropping in price. We can look at, where's that hazmat? The hazmat suit. someone keeps listing that for a lower and lower price. It's still a little too overpriced, but it's an example of trying to sell into the Ethereum marketplace, or the Ethereum market. So my best advice to you, if you're someone who collects wearables instead of land, is somewhat of the same thing. The mana value of your stuff is going to go down, but the USD value is going to hold, because the sats, because of the way the sats move against Bitcoin in terms of sats for mana. There's a pretty direct, or I guess indirect relationship between the two, where when Bitcoin goes up in price, the sat value of mana decreases. So we'll look at that right now, and you can see it right here on display. Bitcoin goes up, sat value goes down. And what that does, it gets people to sell at a lower value of mana. So not only is the sat level going down on your mana, but the actual amount of mana spent on this stuff is going down with it. So the best thing you could do right now, especially if you're someone who's in Decentraland for the long haul, keep your steady hands, wait for all of this stuff to decrease just a little bit more, and pick your buying opportunities. Put some bids in on this stuff. Right now I got 1,000 mana in my wallet. Let's make a bid. So you're going to come here. There's already one for 3,000. Let's pick something else. It's a Bride of Frankie. So we're going to come in and we're going to bid. 1,000. Bid. Going to bring this up. So the good thing about the bidding system, if you're a buyer and not a seller, is you can throw a bid down on this stuff and wait for someone to maybe get light hands. And you know, if you're someone who's in the market and looking to buy at a good price, why not? Why not throw some bids out there? You know, maybe if gas isn't $1 for one transaction, but throw some stuff out there. You know, get a little ambitious. But if you're someone who's selling stuff, you know, don't accept a bid if you don't have to. If you're not someone who's starving and you need food on your plate right now, I know a lot of people are in that situation given the times, but if you're someone that can afford to take a hit for, you know, maybe a month or a couple weeks, just hold your stuff. There's no reason to be selling right now. We had a nice conversation in the Discord earlier about wearables. We'll go over that at a later date. Right now it's just talking about the Ethereum prices and everything. Looking at DCL Core's Twitter page. Just had the big conference yesterday or 2 days ago, depending on where you're at in the world. Just had the conference. We had some great speakers come out. We had Mintbase, MetaFactory, Axie, GG, and Cent. You can see my Cent tab here. But just to bring it back, don't be trying to sell into Ethereum and Bitcoin right now if you're someone who is committed to Decentraland for the long haul. Just take your lumps right now and look for places to get back into the market, because the value of your items is going to depreciate in terms of the value of mana, but it's going to hold its USD value if Bitcoin and Ethereum are going up in price. Obviously, all of this is dependent on where you bought into the market in the first place, meaning Bitcoin, where you got it at. If you bought low and you got in here low, when the price of it goes up, the sats are going to go down, but everything's kind of holding pretty steady. So my advice to you is be patient, stay calm, look for opportunities to get back into the marketplace, and don't panic sell if you don't have to. Just make sure that you're educated on the market. There's the official Decentraland marketplace. You can also go to OpenSea. I already have the tab pulled up here of Decentraland Wearables. OpenSea is a great source if you're a buyer. There's a lot different stuff listed on here. You can make bids just like anything else, and you can sort through all of the different NFT projects that are available, as well as check your wallet activity. So, just in closing, to wrap it up, like I said, just stay calm, keep steady hands, and look for new opportunities to get into the market. So that'll wrap up this talk for now. I think I'm going to go on a podcast or on a live stream later tonight with Litecoin Moses and Red Nitrous and Clark Kent to talk a little bit more about wearables in depth. So make sure you check that out as well. And feel free to give me any response, positive or negative feedback for these videos. This is the first one I've ever made in OBS, so big step for me here. I know it's going to be a learning curve for myself, so feel free to give me some input when you see this, and hopefully I'll make the correct adjustments moving forward. But until then, I'll see you guys later, and good luck on the marketplace out there.